Hey, what is up guys? It's GCoast31 here, and I'm back to tell you guys some tips about how to complete Conquest mode. That is right, Conquest mode. There have been a lot of people in the Diamond Dynasty community on Twitter that have been sort of confused on how to overtake strongholds, how to get them awesome player rewards like Jose Batista and Ichiro and Kinsler and Beltray, the list just goes on and on. So I'm here to give you guys tips about how to get those players, how to just keep advancing in this mode, well, in the sub mode of Diamond Dynasty to really build your team up, because all this really is some offline gameplay that will just boost your team up. My team went up like 10 overall points because I've been playing this Conquest mode. It's crazy. So let's just jump right into it, guys. So before you on the screen, you see my old Conquest map. So I am in bright blue just to show you guys where my team was, because I used to be red and it was really confusing with the Twins and the Cardinals and the Reds, whatever. That aside. So what I did here was I was one of those guys who's just in it for the players. Like, I just want the diamonds. I just want more diamonds. The more diamonds, the better. So I've discovered after doing that there's really the four ways of doing Conquest, which is for the players, for the stubs, for both the players and the stubs, or just for fun, which I explained a few minutes ago. That aside, there is two different strategies that you could use depending on what you're doing this mode for. So first, I'll explain for both the fun, for both the stubs and the players, just the stubs or just for fun. So what you want to do, as you can see, my original territory is taken over by the Diamondbacks in this one because I just did the players. That you could do that. You could just go for the players. I'll explain that in a few minutes, so stay tuned. But now it's just for the fun, both the players and the stubs, or just the stubs. So my suggestion is to go either west or northeast. Do not go south, because if you go south, you'll probably result in a disjointed territory by the Diamondbacks, the Royals, the Cardinals, the Texas Rangers. Anybody who's in that vicinity will probably take you over, because there's more players in the south than there are. There's more teams in the south than there are in like the west and the northeast of your original territory. So just stick to that method. First, you want to either go west or northeast. Then you want to surround your stronghold. So what I mean by that is, you see the Diamondbacks right there, right next. If you see my H right next to the Brewers, if you go down a little bit to the left, you could see that the Diamondbacks surrounded their stronghold with their troops. They surrounded it. That is a great method to use if you want to protect your strongholds from getting taken away by any of the other CPU teams. But me personally, I did that for a few of the strongholds, but it's really not necessary because you play for those games anyway. And if you stack up on the fans in your strongholds, that really won't make much of a difference. But that is just me. However you go about it is completely fine. So when you go either west or northeast, I would suggest going for either the Rockies or the Twins and the Brewers area, because those are really two of the worst teams in baseball right now. The Rockies, they're all right. They have Arenado and Jose Reyes, but besides that, they really got no pitching. So you could just tee off on them if you're playing on rookie or veteran. And that's another thing. I would just jump right to it. Do not play on All-Star, Hall of Fame, or Legend. It is just straight cheese. The computer will just dive out of nowhere and make really insane catches. It is just a waste of time, in my opinion. If you could win, if you're really good at the game, go for it. It just makes this whole process a lot quicker. But if you're like me, you're sort of okay at the game. You know what you're doing. Don't do it. Just go for veteran, is what I did. And at the end of the video, I'll show you what my progress is at right now, which I think I'm a little bit more than halfway done. So just do veteran. Really, just stack up your troops and do veteran. That is my suggestion for you guys. And take your time finally. I see a lot of people on Twitter being like, why is this taking so long? This guy did it in 10 hours. This guy did it in 2 days. Why can't I do it? I keep losing the strongholds. Just be patient. Just take your time. It doesn't matter if it takes 10 days or 10 weeks or 10 hours. Really doesn't matter. Just take your time. Alright, so now I'm going to discuss the opposite strategy, which is really high risk, high reward. Just go straight for the players. I want the diamonds. I want all the best players you could possibly get from this conquest mode. Now, that mentality I went for originally because I wanted that diamond Ichiro, which I suggest everybody getting. I have a video on that already on my channel. Just click on my channel. It should be the second video that pops up besides this one. Second latest video for that matter. So, getting back on track. If you want the players, you want the diamonds, you want the really good gold players, the higher risk, high reward method is really only for those people who are willing to risk it all. They don't care about what their strongholds are. They don't care. They just want to get the players. They just want to win the strongholds, get whoever they want, really. That's a little bit of repetition, but whatever. So you could still use that strategy of either northeast or west, but it will most likely take more time away from you getting the players you want. So let's say you want the diamond Adrian Beltre from the Dodgers. You could just go straight from the stronghold and just go straight west, southwest really. You're going to have to cut past the Rockies, maybe a little bit of Athletics territory, maybe Diamondbacks. Doesn't matter. Just go straight for it, the Dodgers stronghold. No regrets. Add all your fans on the way and just go straight to it. Alright, so now we're at the point of the video where I discuss how to get these players, which is really big concern in the community right now because nobody really, well, a lot of people know how to do it, but there's still some people who aren't aware of it. So here's what you do. Once you go to the Conquest, you could hit options and it'll give you this list of things you could do. You could skip phase, restart if you wanted to, but I suggest you don't do that unless you're really like screwed up. But you click on options first and then missions, and then you hit the right bumper twice and it'll bring you to Conquer and Command. This is where you will find out how to get these players. So basically the first step is to conquer the stronghold, obviously. So once you do that, then if you could see, Conquer the Orioles is right in front of you on the screen. Once you do that, it will turn gold. And once it turns gold, a player will pop up and it'll say rack up innings played with whatever team you're going for, players in Diamond Dynasty. What this means is you need to basically play innings with people from that team, and it'll keep track of the innings for you. And once you get that innings, those number of innings, then you get the card basically. So let's say, for example, I don't know, you wanted the Sin Soo Choo. He's on the Reds. He's the Reds Command, the Reds reward card. So what you do is the innings are different depending on, I don't know what it depends on. I think it's like the difficulty of the set or something. I don't know. But once you complete that, you move on to the diamond rewards, the higher gold rewards. I'll get to that in a second. But to do these, what I suggest you do is just get a whole Diamond Dynasty team full of those players. You want to get the Rays reward of Ben Zobrist, diamond. I think it's like a 94 or 95, somewhere around there. You want that card? Just get all Rays on your team and just stack them up. Like get all bullpen you can if you want to. You can get definitely get all starters, right? Rays, no matter what game you're in, you'll automatically pitch with a Rays player because that adds to the total. So you want to do that. You could have all Rays lineup too, with center field, right field, shortstop, whatever. So I ran into a problem with a couple of these teams, especially the Blue Jays, where they only have one really good player in one position. So, for example, Blue Jays have two. They have Donaldson and Troy Tulowitzki. Both of them are diamonds, and I can't really afford that with the budget I'm on right now. So, what I did was I looked at other positions that could possibly play those positions. So, like shortstop Troy Tulowitzki, I'm like, I'm gonna have to find a substitute for him. So what I did was I looked at second baseman. There was I think two bronzes from the Blue Jays who played second base, Ryan Goins and Devin Travis. I think one of them I checked by when you're in the marketplace, you scroll over the player and you hit triangle and it'll show you the player card. In the top left, it'll show you secondary positions. Some second base can play shortstop, some first base can play third base. Basically, all the outfielders can play all the outfield positions. Some of them are a little bit different, but most of them are like that. So I was like, I think Travis could play shortstop. So I was like, all right, I'll put him at short. But then there was nobody else who could play third base. I looked at first base. I looked at shortstop. I looked at all the outfielders. I looked at catchers. I didn't know. So there was no Blue Jays players. So I was like, what am I going to do? So I just put Matt Carpenter there because I did the Cardinals one already. So I mean, it doesn't cause a big decrease in your innings played per game. But I mean, I'd rather have an extra Blue Jay player who's a little bit worse than have like a gold player who's not on that team whatsoever. But that's just me. I mean, that would be the quickest way. But if you want to get a lot of wins, if you want to just do whatever you feel is most comfortable, excuse me, just maybe try both the methods out, see what the innings total is. If it's not that big of a difference between the gold or the lower tier player for that team, then just go for the gold. I mean, yeah, you can just do that. All right, so now once you get the command reward, the gold reward, so let's say command the Yankees, let's say you get that reward for 1,000 innings, you will then complete the reward. You'll get them in your inventory. You can put them on your team, whoever it is. For example, the Mariners guy was Michael Pineda. He is really good, by the way. I suggest you pick him up. He is pretty good hits per nine. So, especially from a silver, I think it's like in the 80s somewhere. That's better than some of the diamonds. Not even joking. So, yeah, you could just get him. And if you're working for the Mariners, once you do that, you hit redeem, and then you'll get the card. It'll pop up right in your inventory, but then this pops up. Yeah, and the embody stage. This is basically, I think it's tier 3. I think that's what they call it on Twitter. It's the tier 3 reward for the Conquest. It's basically it's the big thing. It's the big reward. So it says embody the Mariners by feeding them to your Diamond Dynasty player. So what this basically means is you have to get a lot of Mariners guys and basically feed them to your Diamond Dynasty player. If you do not know what your Diamond Dynasty player is, you have to go to My Squad. Once you go to My Squad, you hit the left bumper once. It hit the left bumper to the star, and the star is basically your created Diamond Dynasty player. You could edit his appearance, changes at batting stance, whatever you want. It doesn't matter. But what really matters, is that you feed these Mariners players to your Diamond Dynasty created player. So I did a little bit of math, and I found out that you need 66 bronze players in order to complete Ichiro, to get the card, basically. So how the system works, when you do feed these cards, if you keep checking the missions like if you keep checking this page and you keep checking each row, there's going to be a percentage that pops up in the top right, and it'll show you, oh, 15%, 20%, 50%. Your 50%, like that's how much players you've fed to your guy already. So if you fed 50%, you've probably fed like 33 bronze players basically. What the percentage goes for the tiers is it's less than 1% for commons, 1.5% for bronzes, 3% for silvers, 8% for golds, and just don't feed diamond players to your guy. It just don't do it. It'll cost you probably less than 10,000 stubs as it is. So feeding a diamond player, I think it's like 50,000 or something, but it's not worth it. So what you need to do is go to the marketplace and you can search well, really search by the filter of Mariners or whatever team you're going for, and search it with the team and live series. Make sure you check off live series, because if you don't check that off, then some of the flashbacks might show up, and I don't know, for some people that just throws them off. So just check off live series. And you could go a step further and go under an 85 overall, because I suggest you don't get golds. Don't get silvers either, because they're just not worth it. Because for bronze players, you could get bronze players for under 100 stubs. So if you place 2 buy orders up for bronze players of whatever team it is for like 80 stubs, and let's say they get bought, you got 2 bronze players, which is really 1 silver player for 160 stubs, rather than paying like 300 stubs for a silver player. Although it is more players, but it's still the same percentage wise anyway. So I'd rather save a couple hundred stubs than just getting the players as fast as you can. But hey, if you want to do that, don't care about how much stubs you end up with. That's not my decision. That's your decision. But I don't suggest that. Okay, so getting to the next part. If you keep feeding these bronze players, you'll get to the point where, again, 66 bronze players is the exact number needed for feeding any of these diamond players. Now, I don't know about if it's a third tier gold player. Like there's I think there's a Cliff Floyd for the Marlins, which is third tier. It's not a diamond. I don't know about the percentages for that. I'm pretty sure it's the same, but again, just keep getting bronze players. Just keep putting up buy orders. Just keep feeding them to your guy. Keep checking on the percentages. And once you do that, once you get 100%, that person is yours. You could just redeem. He will pop up in your inventory, your collection, in your my squad. You can put him in. You'll probably start him too, because he's most likely going to be better than your starters already. But I don't know what your team's like. So yeah, once you do that, you get the card, and it's all free sailing from there. So that is basically it, guys. Leave a like, subscribe, but please, I'm actually suggesting this one to you guys. Comment if I didn't make any sense on one of the topics, whether it be how to get diamond players, how to capture strongholds, the strategies, whatever. Please leave a comment if people are still confused. You could also add me on Twitter. It's at GKOZ31. GKOZ31. You guys can contact me on there if you're still a little bit confused. I could sort of edit this video again and re-release it so that it might be a better, more understanding video to the common people. But please, just comment if I didn't make any sense on anything. Because I want to help you guys. I want to make sure you guys know really what's going on with how to get these players, man. Because I know when I first started, I'm like, how do people have diamond flashbacks? I thought they didn't exist. You know, I thought they didn't exist yet. You know, so please leave a like if you really did enjoy it. Subscribe if you really enjoyed it, like more than like. But and most importantly, comment if you feel like it was a good video, if it was a good tutorial. If I said anything confusing, please comment down below. And that is it, guys. Until next time, peace out.